This video is going to be unscripted, not planned, non-edited. Just gonna speak from the heart. Just speak what's on my conscience. Before I say anything else, my condolences, my sincerest condolences to the Jota family, to his wife, to his kids, to his parents, to his neighbors, to his loved ones, and to everybody that knew him personally or impersonally. My most sincerest condolences. I really struggled to want to make this video in the first place, just because obviously I don't have any connection. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm not Portuguese. I don't know Jota personally. I didn't support Wolves or anything. But this is, obviously massive footballing news. And there's also the fact that, I'm a content creator, and whatnot. There's the monetary aspect of it. I'm saying this in advance. This video on YouTube for sure. This is not going to be monetized. On TikTok, unfortunately, I don't know of a way to not monetize a specific video. If anybody out there does, please DM me on Instagram, TikTok, send me an email, however you want to get in touch with me. If you guys know how to not monetize a specific video on TikTok, please let me know, because just morally, I can't profit from something like this. It feels sick. So, but to get onto it, so Diogo Jota is dead at 28, dead due to a car crash somewhere in the north of Spain. And the tragic thing about it is that, from what I gather, I think the reason that he was there to begin with is, I think he was trying to get back to Britain, back to Liverpool. And that the reason that he couldn't, fly as perhaps you expect him to do so is because I think he'd recently gotten surgery in his lung area, and it was, unsafe for him to travel by plane. And so as a result, he needed to go into to travel. He needed to take a ferry, which is why he was driving to, I think, the port in Santander to take the ferry to Britain. And unfortunately, whilst, driving, I think the tire on his Ferrari went, and we know the rest. And there's going to be obviously news and more details and investigations and whatnot, but that's neither here nor there. I wanted to take the chance with this video to be able to just discuss that. It's a term that I don't like using oftentimes, because oftentimes I feel like it's used by others to sort of denigrate the sport, but it's the term, it's just football. And I think it's at times like this that you realize that, it's just a game, but it's not that deep. Obviously, we're fans, we put a lot of emotion, a lot of heart into it, but at the end of the day, there's more important to life. Things like this, doesn't matter if you're a Liverpool fan, if you're a Portuguese fan, whatever you are, at the end of the day, that's a father lost. That's a husband lost. That's a son lost. That's a neighbor lost. A friend, a local. And it just shows you that life is precious. Life is precious, life is sacred, and not to get, too philosophical and whatnot. And it's obviously it's cliche to say all those things, but I'm a Christian, and as a Christian, obviously I believe that, God created us and we have a purpose here on this earth. And that obviously, death is, it's an event, it's not the end. But there's still more. Now, I don't know where, Diogo Jota is standing with God, with so on and so forth, and that's not the point of the video, but it's just to show you that every breath that you take, every time you wake up in the morning, every inconsequential thing in your life, being able to walk, being able to, see, being able to hear, listen, taste, all these things that you take for granted in your day-to-day life. Not to let alone, the technology, the friends you have, the moments you're able to share, they can all be taken away just like that. Just like that. And to get back onto Jota specifically, it's particularly tragic because obviously, as many people will have stated, if I'm not mistaken, he got married, I think, 10 days ago. He's a father of 3, all of whom his children are all, I think, below the age of 5. The latest one being born, I think, in December of 2024. So he's living a widowed wife. And for his parents, not only did they lose their eldest son, but they also lost their youngest son. And from what I know, I think the Jota, Diego and Andre Jota are the only children they have. So not only did they lose a son much, much, much too early. As a parent, you never want to have to attend your child's funeral. That is a parent's worst nightmare. But not only did you lose one, you lost both at the same time, and those are your only children. It shows you that, yeah, in life you have to be grateful. That for all the stuff, all the things you say about football, so on and so forth, there's more to football. There's more than just that. There's actual life. There's actual life. Because at the end of the day, when you turn off the cameras, when you step off the pitch, when you go home, there's actual proper living human beings. Yes, footballers make hundreds and thousands of pounds, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. But all that, when the knock comes, when the time comes, we all go. And yeah. Obviously there's been cases in the past where, players have gone and passed away. I remember there was the non-player Emiliano Sala who passed on his plane crashed. And obviously those hit you, but Jota is a player we all know. He's a player for Liverpool and all this. And obviously every once in a while over the course of the seasons, you'll have, greats, legends of the club who pass away at, 78, 80 years old. Not to go and say that, dying at that point is any less significant, but there's this idea of this person's lived their life. They've had a long, hopefully fruitful, prosperous life. But someone like Diogo Jota, he's 28. For reference, I'm 22. So he's 6 years older than I am. In the grand scheme of life, that's not all that significant. So once again, as a Christian, I'm praying for his family. I pray for his wife. I pray for his parents, his mother and his father. And also say specifically, I pray for his children, that God, that everybody around him, that God would be able to console them in this time of deep mourning. And I think it's important to mourn. As a Christian, once again, Jesus wept at the loss of his loved ones. And I think it's important to be able to mourn. Even if you don't know him, I think it's okay to mourn and to be able to do so. But to also be able to look back and be also appreciative of everything that, Jota and everything his brother Andre did over the course of their lives, and to take that into account as well. But yeah, it's not a video I like to make. It's not a video hopefully I'll have to make much more often. I'd much rather just talk about football, give my takes, but this is beyond football. This is actual life. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Share your thoughts on and condolences, and support each other in the comments. It's on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, wherever it may be. And yeah, thank you guys very much, and especially in this time around. Stay safe, stay kind, and stay blessed. Godspeed.